fact that you clicked on this video and you're here right now tells me two things. One, there's some big changes you've been wanting to make in your life for weeks, months, maybe even years. And two, you've been struggling to actually make those changes. Now, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you have the ability to change your life and create a whole new reality for yourself if that's really what you want. The bad news is that those results you're looking for are not just going to show up for you. Those habits you've been trying to fix are not going to fix themselves. And that dream life you've been wanting so badly for yourself is not just going to magically appear and become your new reality, unless you are aligning yourself with the right habits and actions to get you there. So if you want to start making some serious changes in your life and actually be able to see those positive results, you need to learn these 7 powerful habits. Hey everyone, it's Ariel. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are talking about 7 incredibly powerful and underrated habits that truly have the power to change your life, because whether you're aware of it or not, your habits can affect all areas of your life, good and bad. So the sooner you become aware of how those habits are affecting you and what you can do to change them, the sooner you can stop beating yourself up and wasting your precious time, and the sooner your future self will be able to thank you for setting yourself up to win in life. Let's get into it. Habit number 1, getting uncomfortable. You may have heard the saying before that life begins outside of your comfort zone, and it is true. Why? Because comfort and growth don't go together. If you're comfortable, you're not growing and you're not allowing yourself to improve because you're in your comfort zone. In other words, you are afraid to be uncomfortable. And it's natural for us as humans to want to stay comfortable because, we're all just trying to survive. So if there's a situation that might seem dangerous or threatening or might put us in the position to make mistakes, it's a lot easier to just avoid that situation altogether because it's the safer option. But if you never step out of your comfort zone, you will be missing out on potential friendships, relationships, career growth, personal growth, valuable opportunities that you maybe never even knew existed. So as uncomfortable as it might be to get up and work out instead of sitting in front of the TV for 45 minutes, or to go out and make new connections with people even though you've always been too scared to actually start a conversation with someone, chances are if you do those hard or uncomfortable things now, they will pay off in the long run. So if you're willing to challenge yourself and put yourself in a situation that might end up being very uncomfortable for you, you can think of it like you're doing a favor for your future self, essentially setting yourself up for success later on. If you choose to stay comfortable, your future self might not be very happy with you. But if that rewarding feeling of being happy and accomplished in your life in the future outweighs the temporary discomfort you will feel by doing those hard, uncomfortable things now, then get uncomfortable, baby. Habit number 2, choosing actions over words. Because listen, you can say you're gonna do XYZ, whether that's working out, eating healthy, being more productive, making more money, reading more books, whatever it is, but what does it really mean without any actions behind it? Actions are what produce results. And so even though words can be incredibly meaningful and you can have full intention of following through with these things you're saying you're gonna do, but eventually you need to put action behind those words in order to turn it into a reality. And it's also important to make sure that those actions align with your personal values, just so that you're not doing things for the sake of doing them, like you actually have intention behind those actions. So to give you an example of why this is so important, let's use the example of finding your passion, because this is a common challenge that a lot of people face in life. So if your goal is to find your passion without any plan of action on how you'll actually find it, these are not my words, but this sums it up perfectly. Finding your passion is the equivalent to being in the middle of the ocean and telling yourself to find land. The only viable option is to swim. So the action is what will lead you to eventually discovering your passion, instead of staying stuck in the middle of the ocean and just waiting for the answer to pop up in front of you. That will only keep you stuck and confused. So the thoughts and the words are one thing, but taking action will give you so many more answers than your mouth could talk and your mind can overthink. Number 3, understanding the power of knowledge and constant learning. Truthfully, you don't have all the answers, neither do I, none of us do. And I believe that life will continue to humble you until you realize this. So I think it's good to get into the habit of learning new things and seeking knowledge, which doesn't mean that you have to always be in class or taking courses. You can also learn a lot by just observing people, listening to podcasts, hearing different perspectives, reading different books and articles. And sure, attending a class or a conference here and there can be good too. The important thing is that you're staying curious and understanding the value of learning and expanding your mind and skills, and knowing that all that knowledge you're picking up is going to help you become better than you were before as a person, in your career, even with your hobbies. There's so many benefits to staying curious and continuously learning. You almost have to learn to love learning. Well, you don't have to. It's a good habit. And by the way, you can also learn a lot from your own mistakes. There's a lot of value in this as well, and that can definitely help you become a better person. So just keep that in mind. And once you start looking, you'll realize that there's literally lessons everywhere. There's always something or always more to be learned. Habit number 4. Drop the labels. When you decide to give yourself a label, it limits your actions. So what are labels? This is when you say things like, I'm stupid, I'm lazy, I'm not confident, I have social anxiety. And by the way, I'm someone who has personally struggled with this, anxiety specifically, so I'm not shaming it at all whatsoever. And I understand that there are sometimes real hurdles that take a while to overcome. But I also understand that slapping a label over yourself is essentially giving yourself an excuse to not make any changes. Instead of learning how to actually improve in those areas that you struggle with, you're basically saying, oh, that's just my reality, woe is me. Why? Why would you do that? Another example of this is saying, oh, I'm a morning person, meaning you get up early every single day, even on the weekends. And even though it's not necessarily bad, there's obviously nothing wrong with getting up early, it's just an unnecessary label that you're identifying yourself with. And then if one day comes along where you weren't able to get up early, maybe you stayed out late with friends, or you just had to go to bed late for whatever reason, you're going to feel extremely guilty for not getting up early, even though it's Saturday morning, you don't have anywhere to be, and it would be totally okay for you to just sleep in that one day, but you're a morning person. So these labels can turn into this negative thing, and it's just not necessary at all. These labels are not your identity. Sure, you might be lazy sometimes or lack confidence sometimes, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be your reality. And I will say that I'm sure there are times when labels can be used in a positive way, but if this is something you've been struggling with and you can feel that you've gotten yourself stuck because of a label that you've just unnecessarily accepted for yourself, consider dropping that label altogether. Just let it go. Remind yourself that that is not your identity, and make it easier for yourself to make the necessary changes so that you can move on. Habit number 5, personal growth. I think doing this when you're young, in your 20s, even teens, the earlier the better, really. The goal should be to always be improving and moving forward. I think personal growth also includes seeking knowledge and investing in yourself and your education. The sooner you commit to personal growth, the better off your future self will be. If not, you might fall behind in life, and you might start seeing all your peers and people around you doing better than you and excelling in life, while you're still stuck in that same place you were in years ago. And I think ultimately this comes down to ignorance, because we all have things we can improve on, and there's always room for personal growth. If you don't believe this, I think you're really only hurting yourself. This type of ignorance can cause you to feel defeated, and it can make you accept less than what you really want or even deserve in life, because you've been too afraid to put yourself in a position to grow past your personal hurdles. And maybe you're watching this and you're already well into your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're thinking, well, it took me so long to figure all of this out, and I'm already so far behind in life. Probably no turning it around for me now, so I'll just settle. And that is a choice. It's completely your choice, and if that is really what you want for yourself, that's fine. Or you could choose to say, you know what, I deserve better. And it's actually not too late for me to grow and improve as a person and become more educated and learn how to do all the things I've been avoiding. And I'm gonna live my life the way I've always wanted to. And whether you're 25 or 65, you can make that switch, and you can start right now. No one can do that except for you. That's why it's called personal growth. Okay, habit number 6, competing only with yourself. Please let me be the one to tell you, you need to stop comparing yourself to others. Because look, we all have our own different personal journeys in life. So your success and your happiness might look a lot different than it does to that person you keep comparing yourself to on Instagram. And it's easy to do this. It's so easy to do this. Compare yourself to other people, especially people who look like they're doing better than you. So you might look at someone who's a millionaire and just think to yourself like, oh, only I could be where they are. Like, they're living my dream life. It must be so amazing, you know? But this is not a fair way to look at it, because you're only seeing where they are now. You're not seeing everything it took to get them there. And the truth is, we all start from zero. We may all come from different backgrounds or environments, but we all start at zero. There's a beginning for everyone. So if you're comparing yourself at 0 to someone else at 100, it's not a fair comparison. What you need to do, instead of comparing yourself to this person and where they are now, look at what they did to get there. Put all that energy you've been using to compare your life to other people's, which, by the way, you're only ever seeing what people want you to see, and so you never know what's going on behind the scenes, just as a side note. Focus all that energy on the things that you can do right now to get there yourself and make your own progress. Another thing to remember is that the journey would not be the same if you went from 0 to 100. There's invaluable lessons and growth that happens along the way in your own personal journey. So if your goal is to be better than you were yesterday, you're doing something right. The only person you should ever be competing with is yourself, period. Okay, last but not least, habit number 7, confidence and self-respect. So first of all, everyone has a unique perspective that we can usually learn something from, even if you don't necessarily agree. So it is important to value other people's opinions and be respectful to everyone and their beliefs. But at the end of the day, when it comes to how you live your own life, you need to have your own confidence, your own respect, and your own belief in yourself. People with true confidence trust their judgment and ability to make decisions. I've definitely learned this the hard way because I've seen firsthand what happens when I let insecurities and fear lead me instead of just having my own confidence and believing in my abilities. So there's a lot of power in understanding your unique value and truly believing that you can do something. I mean, this is like a life-changing discovery. And also being able to love yourself enough to actually go out and work for what you want in life. To me, that is a huge form of self-respect. Whereas on the other side of that, it would not be very respectful to go through life only valuing the opinions of others and never really living life how you want to live it, because it's your life. So self-confidence, self-belief, self-respect are all extremely important, and also self-reliance. Because when it comes down to it, you can't really rely on anyone else in life. No one is coming to save you. There's no emergency eject button that you can just press when everything's going wrong and a magical genie will appear and grant your 3 biggest wishes. Like, I wish, but no, that's not how it works. Your life is your responsibility. And when you have confidence and self-respect, you start to believe in your own ability to overcome challenges and succeed in life. And so it builds resilience. It helps you learn how to handle stressful situations. It allows you to live a life that you actually enjoy. And it's almost like giving yourself permission to become a healthier, happier person overall. So that brings us to the end of this video, you guys. I know there was a lot of information here, but I hope you found it helpful and interesting to hear. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Also, comment down below, feel free to share your thoughts and let me know what kind of videos would you like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.